Hi guys, I'm Mara and I want to talk about my Void setup for the 30 days challenge. Yes, Void 1, I choose to use Void because you choose it, so whatever. As you can see, I'm using Void Linux. Yes, this is my configuration for Hyprland because I use Hyprland, I rather use Hyprland. And honestly, it's pretty fast, not gonna lie. I already used Void in the past because I already made 3 videos about it, if I remember correctly. I'm going to put the video in the description if I remember. 2 about video games and one about switching to Void Linux, because I switched to Void Linux back in 2023 if I remember correctly. But then for university I switched back to a systemd distros, so I choose Arch, whatever. You know, I made a video about it. I'm using Void Linux right now for the challenge. I didn't delete my Arch Linux install, this is my secondary SSD. I'm going to use Void Linux for the entirety of the 30 days, except for one thing. I need to do some very important stuff, so I'm going to reboot on Arch and do that stuff on Arch. Why? Because it's for work. And honestly, YouTube is not my job, so I need to actually make that thing work. I need to complete my work before I can do this stuff. Whatever, you know. So right now my setup consists of OBS. This one is the Flatpak version. I'm not using the normal version of OBS because for some reason it doesn't work properly on Void, at least for me. Maybe it's because of Hyprland. The Flatpak version works just fine, I'm going to use that, doesn't matter. I'm using Rofi Wayland, I compiled this by myself. I'm going to put a time lapse later this week because I need to edit that, because it's like a 2 hours time lapse or maybe a 3 hours, I don't know. I'm going to actually make a time lapse of that video and put it this week, don't worry about it. Rofi Wayland, it works just fine. I'm using Sway Notification Center because it's on the repo, strangely enough, and obviously it works. I'm using Waybar. That is not in the repo, is on the src pkgs repo, something like that. I'm going to show you what I meant by that. Void Linux src pkgs, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Void packages. This one is a community driven packages collection. It has a lot of stuff. I install this and then I install Waybar through this. That's all. It's like an hour for Void. It's not an hour, but something like that. It works. I use it. That's all. I have Tuner. I'm not going to use Dolphin because I don't like Dolphin, even though on the Fedora Rise I use Dolphin just because I want to try something different, but my go-to is Tuner, as always. I install Steam and Lutris, they work just fine. Honestly, for Steam, it was a low effort. I just enable free repo, the non-free repo, the non-free repo multilib and the multilib repo, and then I install Steam, and I guess it works. I only try to start this guy a PC and it works just fine. I didn't play it, but the sound works, the option works. I think it should work just fine without any problem. I'm going to try some other stuff. I already try Final Fantasy 13 and it works just fine. I made a video about it some month ago and it works just fine. I want to actually replay this title because it's one of my favorite Final Fantasy. I guess I'm going to actually play it maybe later, I don't know. Let's see. I don't know. I still don't know. Whatever. I destroy my achievements. I know, even though I played 28 hours of this game. I'm going to replay it, it's not a big of a deal. I didn't try Final Fantasy 13 too, but I think it would work just fine. Final Fantasy 7 and 8, I didn't try it, but they should work. I'm going to make some video about it. I want to try GTA 5 to be honest, because it's a very big title, but I'm not going to install it now because my SSD is too small. It's like a 256 giga SSD. Yes, it's not a big one, whatever. So Steam works just fine. I'm going to close it. Lutris works amazingly, honestly. This one is not the Flatpak version, but the native version. And as you can see, everything works just fine. Vulkan support yes, async support yes, fsync support yes, one install yes, gamescope yes, Mango HUD yes, game mode yes, Steam yes, in Flatpak no, because I'm not using the Flatpak version. I have the latest kernel, yeah. I'm using Hyprlock, you already know everything. And everything worked just fine. I try to play Greece, and it works. So I guess every single game will work just fine. Other stuff that I install Discord, desktop. I'm using sorry guys, I'm using desktop because I prefer to use this over the normal Discord stuff. But there is a problem. This one is not the Flatpak version. This one is the Debian version that I install on Void. I'm going to make the video, I think this week, to how to install the deb file on Void. I'm using the Debian version instead of the Flatpak version because I'd rather use a native version, because this one uses the native library of Void. That's all. Flatpak, yes, is a great tool, but if I can use the native version, I'd rather use native version. I'm going to close Discord right now. Other stuff that I installed, Flatsteel is just a program that I can use to configure all my Flatpak apps. For now, the only Flatpak apps that I have are GIMP, OBS Studio, and ZapZap. ZapZap is a WhatsApp desktop client. It's not the same as the Windows one, but it's good enough, at least for me. OBS Studio is for OBS, and GIMP. I'm using the Flatpak version of GIMP. I'm going to explain why again, because I think I need to explain it, because I can actually install every single plugin with one command, and I don't need to actually copy and paste or install manually every single thing. I'm going to actually I usually do Flatpak install, and then every single plugin and GIMP, and works just fine. I'm using the Photoshop layout because I'm used to use the Photoshop layout even with the keyboard shortcuts, so that's it. I'm using GIMP. Every single thumbnail are by GIMP. Okay, for some reason I can close it. Okay, it was a little bit of a bug, I guess. Then I have Firefox because it's my normal web browser. I use NeoVim for everything. I have Bitop, I have Kitty and MPV media player, and also I installed DaVinci Resolve using DistroBox, because I rather use DistroBox that try to actually make this work. So sudo pt resolve being resolved. For some reason I can only run this using sudo. I don't know why, but as you can see, it works. That's fine. It's the DaVinci Resolve Studio. I use this on a Fedora 37 container, and it works just fine. It's even faster than Arch for some reason. I don't know why, but it works. I can close this wherever. And I think that's it. I don't need to show any other stuff. I have logout as my login control, more than my login control, like a shutdown control, something like that. I don't know how to explain. Everything works just fine. I switched from Swaylock to Hyprlock, at least in this config. Yeah, this is Hyprlock. I prefer to use Hyprlock over Swaylock because I want to try something new. That's all, not because Swaylock is bad. It actually works just fine on my Arch. But this one is Hyprlock and it's great. And I think that's it. I don't need to show anything. everything works just as intended for now. Let's see how the challenge go.